Red 2 standing by, all for lit, and in the green. Welcome back to Pokemon Emerald version. And oh boy, did I have an interesting time off screen. How many of you watching out there have tried to grind for effort values? Like, you know, you KO a Pokemon, you get a certain amount of points based on that Pokemon and what its best stat is. So, for example, if you knock out a Geodude, you get 1 effort value in defense, an Abra 1 in special attack, and so on. In these old days, you had to do it all manually and keep track of everything. You couldn't just buy a whole lot of vitamins and go to town like you can in the new games, which is so good. You had to do it all manually. It had to be done all by you. You had to knock out very specific Pokemon depending on what you wanted. And even with this running at 3 times normal value, it is a chore. But the end result can be seen in the Steel Falcon.
Show me your moves!
I did teach Skarmory Steel Wing just to speed things up. I mean, it was probably a waste of the TM, but I'm using it anyway. But yeah, behold. Look at that defense. The work I have put in to get its attack that far. I had to push so much, knocking out Arons and Poochyena and Sableye, which actually gives 1 effort value in attack and defense. But at long last, we can actually take out the trainers on this route. Oh, hang on, the shell is still level 25. So that is supposed to be a double battle, but I flubbed it. I did have to be very stealthy and avoid all the trainers. Do I genuinely think I can actually take out Marill in one shot? Not with these moves. Absolutely not. Do I think evasion strats will work? No. I did do some evolutions, so I will actually get to work on the Pokédex. Yep, thought it would go for that. Still, we should be able to knock it out. Very hard work actually trying to use Shedinja. Lombre would be fine. Lombre shouldn't have anything that can hurt us. So, yeah, it's perilous, but we will get there. Slowly but surely. And then I will show off what I've been able to achieve when I run back to the Pokemon Center, because I just sort of forgot I had all that stuff there briefly. Because I actually used the effort value training to be fairly intelligent and wind up filling out my Pokédex a little bit. That was fairly sensible given everything you have to go through. So we'll quickly run over here, we'll just heal the team again. So it did take a little bit of time to get a Skarmory with a good nature, but Falcon has an adamant nature. And now with his defense maxed out in terms of effort values and attack being the same, things should go pretty well. Anyway, we did get some new Pokemon. You will have seen that I have Linoone in my party, but they're all over here. We added Volbeat at long last. 1% chance, took me ages to find. We evolved Ralts into Kelia, which is a surprisingly physically buff Gardevoir. Now, if only there was a Dawnstone, it'd be perfect as Gallade. Drogue has evolved into Mightyena, and we caught the 2% chance that is Grimer. Now, something I did forget to mention, I've taken it off it now, but Gulpin had a big pearl. Gulpin can randomly have a big pearl, and hopefully Future Me is going to put the actual chance of that on screen. But yeah. So yeah, finding those items, not too bad. Now this boy we can face has Aron, because I accidentally wound up battling him once. So we can take on our opponents. And hopefully slowly get through with the shell. Okay, and I finally found my bits of paper where I did all the calculations for which Pokemon have the highest stats among each type. Now, there are some pointers. I did leave Arceus out of it, unless it's normal type, because that's cheating. Arceus can be any type, but it would be cheating. So, there's the highest in total. That's any Pokemon, basically. Then there is the highest without the highest non-mega evolution or sort of merged form total. That, because some mega evolutions can really jack up the stats, and I wanted to see, okay, if we take out the megas, if we take out the merged forms like Crowned Zacian and Zamazenta and Dawnwing's Duskmane or Ultra Necrozma, things like that, what would we have? It was curiosity's sake. And then there's the highest without legendary Pokemon, and I did, because they are the same base stat total as Mythicals, I decided I'd remove the pseudo legends too. So when it comes to HP, the highest for any bug type is actually Buzzwole with base 107. It's a little surprising that bug types don't really have high HP, but at the same time it kind of makes sense. I'm going to have to run back to the Pokemon Center after this. Buzzwole has the highest until we take away the legendary Pokemon, at which point it becomes Center Scorch with base 100. If we're going on attack, at base 185, it's Mega Heracross. Leaving out the Megas, Buzzwole is the highest at base 139, so the Ultra Beasts really were kind of a blessing for the bug types, along with Generation 5. If we go for non-legend Pokemon, we actually have Escavalier and Kleavor tied at base 135. You're not going to see a lot of older bug types. Unless we're talking defense and special defense, in which case it's just Shuckle, Shuckle, Shuckle. The highest defense of any bug type after Shuckle is... I think it might actually be Buzzwole or one of the Megas. I didn't write it down. Interestingly, the highest special attack of any bug-type Pokemon is actually Vikavolt with base 145. It's a bit higher than Pheromosa. I'll give the shell a Pecha Berry here. Ninjask is the fastest of all bug types with base 160 speed, as you might expect. Because, well, it is a pretty solid Pokemon. Now, speaking of HP and things like that, you actually can breed Final Gambit, a move that instantly knocks out your Pokemon but deals damage equal to its remaining HP onto Nincada. Oh, cool! Double team in there. Ah, yes, you can see the Ninja Boys hiding. So let's actually run in here first. This area is covered in volcanic ash. I'm specially gifted. I make glass out of volcanic ash and make items. Go collect ashes with this. So, the soot sack. Just take that soot sack and walk through piles of ash. And it will fill up with the volcanic ash. Once you think you've collected a good amount, come see me. So, if we use the soot sack, which is automatically working now, we run through all of these spaces. We've now added some soot into the soot sack and run into a Pokemon. Somehow, during all my effort value training, I did not run into a shiny Pokemon. I suppose it's how it goes. Might be able to knock this out. Oh well, little bit of extra experience. So, that's basically how you collect soot, but you need to get a lot of it. You can collect I think there's about 270 tiles with soot on them per run. And our ninja boys, they tend to use bug and poison Pokemon. So yeah, as I was saying, effectively Shedinja can get Final Gambit. If you somehow manage to knock out an opponent, or like not knock out an opponent but leave them with 1 HP, this would be the funniest thing. Just the ultimate humiliating cherry tap. Knocking out an opponent with a Final Gambit Shedinja. That alone should guarantee you the championship. Alright, nice, we've leveled up. Might as well keep the shell out while I can. But yeah, so we do have to worry about a fair bit when it comes to... Alright, well that's fortunate. So, Fury Swipes again. So, moving on to Dark types. Guzzlord has the highest HP of all Dark types and non-Mega/Merge Dark types. After that, it's actually Mandibuzz with 110. Guzzlord has a lot of HP, and it's got reasonable attacking stats, but it doesn't really do that much else. When it comes to attack, we have Mega Tyranitar as the highest with base 164. Roaring Moon is the best in the non-Mega category with 139, which is very solid.
Kaboom!
Nice! I mean, it wouldn't have worked anyway. I mean, Ghost type, the attack's going right through me. Well, that, dare I say it, that blew up in his face, haha. Alrighty. Ninja Boy Lao is now registered in the Pokénav. We can chat with him anytime. So, for defense, interestingly, Dark types kind of suck at defensive stats. The highest defense stat belongs to Tinglu with base 125. It's the highest for non-Mega as well, and then in the non-Legend category, King Gambit is close behind with 120. Not too bad. In special attack, it's Hooper Unbound with base 170 special attack, which is very solid. If we go to non-Mega or non-Merge, or no... let's call it non-upgrade. In the non-upgrade category, it's Chi-Yu and Darkrai being tied. Whereas in the non-Legend category, it's Zoroark. The highest special defense was Umbreon for a very long time. It was only surpassed in Scarlet and Violet by Wo-Chien. Wo-Chien has base 135 special defense. Umbreon has base 130. For speed, the fastest is actually Chien Pao with base 135, which surpassed Weavile, which had base 125. So, kind of interesting. I won't blather on probably too much because I do need to share the Jokedex stats. And what did these Spinders have feint attack? Spinder can get feint attack, I know that much. What level does it learn it? Feint attack doesn't exactly help me. Alright, okay, so it becomes mud shot out here. That's not good. That's not smart. Wow, they hate Kiwi. Rightio. I will scratch. I will use this. We should be good to go. Nicely done. Well done, the shell. Well done, Kiwi. So, no matter who they attack... Okay, they finally were smart. It was worth a shot! Secret Power does have a 30% chance of doing something. Not much. But yeah, even in... So, as you can see, even in double battle... Now, yeah, even in double battles, if you do wind up attacking a different Pokemon, you still have to pass the luck check. Which actually makes Attract really annoying. Like it wasn't irritating enough. Alright, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Let's run home and heal Shedinja. But not before Kiwi knocks this out. So that should put it to sleep if it actually gets its added effect. I don't know what the chance of the added effect is in this game. Oh, 1 HP. Final Gambit Shedinja, where are you? Now, I should note something, that when it comes to the non-legend category of my little stat project, that is discounting all legendary Pokemon that would have a lower base stat in question. Like, let's say, I think Tinglu has base 155 HP, but it's lower than Guzzlord, and it's a legendary Pokemon, so it doesn't get factored in when I go into the non-legend section. I just went to pick the highest. So obviously the highest non-legendary one is going to be fairly different, because it's ruling out those Pokemon that aren't as high as something like Guzzlord in HP, but still have pretty good totals nonetheless. Okay, so the person down there has a Numel. She says as much. So I'll switch the shell out of the way. And, well, while I'm here, we'll actually get to the Jokerdex. Put a couple of entries in. Keelia, the emotion Pokemon. Unfortunately, poor Keelia seems to be dogged with terrible anxiety and other emotional issues. It's not exactly sure why these emotional issues wind up plaguing it, but all it knows is that something terrible may happen in the near future. Some Keelia with especially powerful Prescient abilities dread their evolution. And then we do have Linoone. Linoone, the rushing Pokemon. Linoone is very fond of straight lines and has actually been known to assist Plusle and Minun with mathematical calculations based on these straight lines. Linoone will enjoy anything that has strong angular straight lines. The only lines it won't get involved with are lines of cocaine. Linoone says don't do drugs, kids. And one more for good measure, whatever the next one we wind up... Ah yes, we've got Mightyena, which might take a little bit more to actually figure out. Mightyena, the bite Pokemon. Mightyena has very, very powerful jaws, and like Poochyena, it is very well known for its computer science skills. This makes its title of the Bite Pokemon very appropriate, though Mightyena is more like the Megabyte Pokemon because of the computer skills and because its bites really, really hurt, man. Alrighty, now we will take on Numel, and we can register. We can register Madeline in the Pokenav as well. And we'll move on to my Dragon-type stats. Dragons tend to have a lot of really good Pokemon with really high base stats, but a lot of them are legendaries on top of that. Once again, we actually have Guzzlord with the highest base HP overall and in the non-upgrade form. Now, when it comes to upgrades, I did actually leave the Rotom forms out because technically they're upgrades, because I can't really find the right term for sort of non-mega, non-merge. It's clunky, it's not punchy, but it's more accurate. The highest HP of all non-legendary dragon types is Appleton with base 110. Unsurprisingly, when it comes to attack, the highest attack of all dragon types is the absurdly broken Mega Rayquaza. When it comes to the non-mega or merge forms, it's regular Rayquaza and Zekrom with base 150. For non-legend, Haxorus with the very impressive base 147. For defense, it was actually a bit of a surprise for me. It's Turtonator with base 135. Which I thought was really cool. All these legendary Pokemon, and then there's just this weird turtle based on the Mata. I absolutely love that. Like, I think because of Turtonator, I was actually able to pick up what the Mata was and be successful with a trivia question as a result. When it comes to special attack, yep, it's Mega Rayquaza again with base 180. Then the non-mega merge. Both forms of Dialga. Now, these forms, they are a little different because they're not actually... They redistribute the stats, but they don't increase anything, so I did choose to leave the origin forms in. So both Reshiram, both forms of Dialga and Palkia and Rayquaza hit base 150 special attack. Of the non-legends, it's Drampar with base 135, so that weird old man Pokemon that is a bully hater really will burn your house down if you annoy it. It's got the strength. When it comes to special defense, Mega Latios actually ties with both forms of Goodra overall. Trapinch does have dark moves, that's a problem. Then it's just Goodra overall with a very impressive base 150 special defense. The fastest dragon type overall is Dragapult. It also gets non-mega, non-merge fastest with base 142. And outside the legends, Noivern is the fastest at base 123. So dragons do tend to have very good stats, but as I said, a lot of them are legendary Pokemon. So call them everyday dragons can be a bit stuck. Alright, we got a double battle up here for an item. Oh, that could be a bit tricky. They're gonna cut me off. Alright, well, I have faith in Kiwi. Alrighty, so we're not getting that item just yet. We'll have to leave the route and come back. Wyatt and Ninja Boy Long. Ah, Aron. Pooh. I don't have the moves to deal with Aron. But the Shell and Kiwi should be able to take out Coughing. Wonder what this does anyway. Oh wow, Kiwi! Well done, Kiwi! Yes, I do speak to Kiwi like I speak to the actual cat. Ninjask. Shedinja missed. Oh, that's handy. Well, my brother, now we must do battle in ancient ninja arts. But as you can see, I chose the path that gained greater power. You may have the speed. You may have sand attack. Piss. Well, it hits both of them, so that's something. Oh, jeez! Kiwi is on... This shit. Oh, yeah, sand attack. Alright, what's it gonna do? It's gonna be immobilized by love. Ninjask gets the speed boost. But we will give him the shell. Yeah, Ninjask is kind of stuck with a crummy moveset, and so is Shedinja. Wrong one! Wrong one! Bad luck, Kiwi. Oh, if I'd hit Aaron with that, it would have been so good. Alright, so now we can gang up. 2 on 1. Let's do it. Keep getting the assists in, Kiwi. That works. It's going to be an interesting battle, this one. Meanwhile, the shell will slowly build up power. You know what? I'll keep the shell out and keep using Fury Cutter. But I think I'd probably better get Faith in so we can end this. Otherwise, I could be here for several minutes boring everyone witless. And yeah, there's sand attack. I mean, now the infatuation does disappear. So I can at least make the shell harder to hit. I think they actually made Minimize bump your evasion up 2 stages in later games. But it also has the downside that if you do use Minimize, certain moves actually wind up hitting and do extra damage. I believe Steamroller is one of them. It's a bug-type move that could be learned by the Scolipede line. Oh, he's got 2 Aron. Good thing I switched. Alrighty, yeah, we'll just double team. Faith can take care of that. Now, we can go back to Morville City eventually, and we can do the next trick house. But I'm not going to worry about that just yet. We do have another battle. So, we'll wrap the episode up with that. I hope that was a good item. How do I get out of here anyway? Alright, Camper Lawrence, what are you... Baltoy. Baltoy should be okay to fit. I love Baltoy and Claydol. I really like using them, and it's because I'm not... I forgot it got Rock Tomb. Mate, I really forgot it got Rock Tomb. Kiwi. Kiwi is nearly level 27. Go, Kiwi! Which is when we get Faint Attack. I still like Baltoy. Well done, little cat. We'll get rid of Tackle, because Secret Power is just better, and I can get Return later on. Assist is funny. But I can't choose who I attack. Sandshrew. Now, we should be able to do some extra damage, because Faint Attack is a special move in this game. Ahaha! You think you have the upper hand, do you? You think your pocket sand is working? Well, Faint Attack never misses. Unless the target is using Dig or Fly or Dive. Or has disappeared with Phantom Force. Alrighty. There we go. Now I need to work out how to get out of here. Oh, I can just walk up. Can I walk up there? No. Well, a super rappel, that's kind of handy. Now, maybe if I go this way. Okay, that's worth it. Thank you very much for joining me. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.